Welcome to the Podcasting Dead. It's been a long time since we've done something that wasn't an episode review. I'm Justin, and sitting across from me is...
Matty Dubs.
Matty Dubs.
With the big B and the big D. I'm not sure the B is, but it's big.
Nobody knows what that means. But JP unable to join me. He's always working, so I've got Matt in his stead. And Matt, you've caught up, so you watched last night's... Well,
I did.
Yeah,
we were supposed to review last night, but my wife got home from a bachelorette party and she wanted to chill, so I'm like, damn, I hate to do Lloyd Boy like that, but...
No, Matt, no, what it was she got back from a bachelorette party, and Matt was like, man, when girls get together, they talk all kinds of crazy stuff, so I'm trying to stay home and see what can happen.
I had to catch up on that drama, yeah.
But no, so we're going to talk about a foreshadowed death in this episode. So, all right, I'm going to give it a little background, and if you've read the comics, this might bore you a little bit, but excuse Matt. Little gas there.
Yeah, I'm fishing one of my claws here.
So, all right, so we're going to do a little comic explaining for both those that haven't read the comics and for Matt. And if you don't want comic spoilers, you may want to skip out on this part because I'm going to spoil the hell out of it. So, in the comics, Father Gabriel and Rosita both have outlived themselves from show to comic. So, in the comics, Rosita was ahead on the spikes when Alpha did all of that. And then in the comics, Beta kills Gabriel in a fight. Gabriel falls from a water tower and gets his leg broke and snapped. It's a pretty gnarly little drawing they have there of his leg. I mean, it basically just snaps his ankle and his leg. And he's hanging there, and Beta comes up and basically guts him. And then just
a pinata.
Pretty much like the most violent pinata ever. And so what happens is, that's it. But in the show, of course, they're both still alive.
Oh, yes, very much alive and well.
So
maybe not well, but alive.
So you know that part. Now some more comic explaining. So in the comics, a lot of people that are having these main story arcs you're seeing, it's not that way in the comics. So Michonne had Yumiko's story. So Yumiko being like a former attorney and getting in at the Commonwealth and all of that. That was Michonne in the comics.
See the pants off them zombies.
And so it's like, that was how that was going. And then with Rick and Dwight, so Dwight was still in the show, was still in the comic, excuse me, it gets confusing going back and forth. Dwight was still in the comic, whereas he's no longer on the show. Rick was still in the comic, he's no longer on the show. So there's this scene in the comic where they're, Dwight's a friend of Rick and them now, and all of that, and there's been some savior unrest, but more or less they go to the Commonwealth, and Rick's like, this could be a really good place. We need to like impress these people and get them to accept us so we can move our camp here. And Dwight looks around, and they're a very class society. So they basically, just like in the show, they'll ask you, what did you do before everything happened? And then they'll put you in a position in this community doing what you did.
See, now, like, talking about Commonwealth, like, they ask all these questions, like, do you have to provide a list of references too so they can verify that shit?
Right, you're going to have to go back and be like, all right, we're looking for... you better hope for your sake your manager's alive to vouch that you were the GM of the most successful company ever. Not very descriptive there, pal. What did you do before the fall? Oh, I was rich.
I was a billionaire, and I ran.
That's what JP and I had said on the podcast. I was like, dude, I'd lie. I'd be like, oh yeah, man, I was something very powerful and important that made me do very little work.
I mean, if you don't believe me, just fact check it.
I was the governor of Virginia.
Oh wait, you can't.
But so Rick he knows it's kind of messed up, but he's just like, whatever. Well, Dwight, you got to understand, Dwight was under the rule of Negan for so long. So Dwight's like, I know a dictator when I see one. And it's basically the leader is this lady named Pamela. And she's got herself, sitting real pretty on top. And nobody's suffering the way they did with the Saviors. But you still got people who are working trivial jobs and just being divided, treated differently.
Classes,
So like Dwight has this freak out and he pulls a gun on Pamela and he's like, we can kill her right now and take this place over and set these people free and make it right. Rick, kind of knows he's right, but knows that this could screw them up.
Yeah, it would be a big, big fuck up.
So Rick shoots Dwight in the head, and it's not an easy thing to do. It's not like Rick's like, oh, you're gone. I mean,
Did he
Rick.
Die?
Oh. No, he just spent the rest of his days in a vegetative state, much like the zombies
gun.
around
It just
him.
bounced off his skull. It stung a little bit.
He's like, stop it.
Stop.
Stop it, Dwight. You don't know how to act.
Did he get the dye? Yes.
But so
yes,
he
did.
died, and it was really kind of tragic and messed up. But so that happens. So that now that you know that, you'll kind of know where we're going with this. But so
Good
did you?
deal, yeah.
Did you hear Rosita talking about her dreams?
Yes. Yeah. With old
Abraham.
redhead Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham, where he keeps trying to tell her something, but then he ends up
Can't
getting shot in the head.
it. Yeah, and he gets shot in the head.
So there was a recent article put out, I guess today or either last night by comicbook.com. I had a listener send it to me, and their theory is that Rosita and Gabriel are going to take Rick and Dwight's place, and Rosita is going to have to shoot Gabriel in the head.
Ooh.
And that's what her dreams are kind of foreshadowing. Because you got to think, Gabriel really has. I don't want to say he's gone off the rails per se, but he's
he seems a lot more distant than like from what he like when we first meet him. But
yeah, he's changed a lot.
Yeah, he's not enough to go off the rails like the way that you're describing Dwight did in the comics.
Not yet, but he's definitely headed in that direction. I mean, think about him a few seasons ago. He was a coward. He was, and then he started slowly progressing. And see, that's where I have issues with some of the Walking Dead's writing. Gabriel, that's more natural because we've talked about it before. People don't just change because of certain, one little event. It usually takes a
culmination, yeah.
And that's the way we've seen with Gabriel. His character transformation has been a slow one. We found him in season 5, and in season 5 and 6, he was kind of a little
hogweed
bitch.
One time. Now you gotta.
Yep, he tried to betray the group, and he just was a little wuss. And then we saw him kill that savior outside the outpost that night. And he started kind of slowly unraveling from there, and it's been a very natural character progression that's taken some time through experience that he's become this way. But, I mean, he definitely seems like when he followed that guy last night, and straight up shanked him.
Yeah.
As he was already dying.
God isn't here.
You could have saved the integrity of your little ice pick there. I mean, that's, a little more wear and tear it didn't have to have. I imagine a human skull is probably not the easiest thing to penetrate.
If you go in the temple, it's pretty thin bone there.
But you see in the Walking Dead, they'll stab them right in,
in the thickest part of the skull, like the temple is like so fucking thin.
Yeah, the temple is the
bone,
easiest,
yeah.
but
it is insanely thin.
But the top part of your skull's the thickest, right?
It's
Matt's in the
very,
medical field, so that's why I ask him these questions like he knows.
Yeah, it's pretty thick in the front.
I mean, so it's
you got some air spaces for your sinuses, but there's still a lot more bone there than there is on the side of your head.
But, so it looks like, I mean, what do you think? Do you say, because then also consider Gabriel, remember the Gabriel and Aaron episode when we had like those 6 bonus episodes where Aaron and Gabriel were captured by that guy?
Yeah.
And, I mean, like, you don't think you could see Gabriel getting that disheveled?
I mean, it would take a lot to get him to flip, like, into that, like the way you're describing Dwight from the comics. I mean, it's definitely in the realm of possibility. I mean, from to proclaim that God isn't there when he shanked that Reaper.
That scene kind of made me think of, remember the episode where they took out the Terminus people?
Yeah.
And, Father Gabriel is like, this is a house of God. And, Maggie's like, this is just 4 walls and a roof. Kind of made me think about that when Gabriel's like, God's not here. And then he,
apparently God doesn't go deep in the woods.
I thought, I already did a review of the episode, but
Listen,
like, didn't you find this funny when he's like,
baby Jesus is everywhere.
He's like, you tried to kill our people, and he's like, and your people tried to kill me.
Like, no, listen here, you dumb shit.
After you tried to kill my people.
This is not vindication for you, fucker. This is
my people did not try to kill your people first.
Well, you guys were wearing cool masks and very sweet costumes like we were.
It's like your people tried to kill my people after they tried to kill my people. Don't try to turn this around like I've got as much blood on my hands as you do, you prick.
Yeah, I was very displeased with that remark. You guys tried killing my people.
After you
Now,
tried
let's
killing
sit here
us.
for a moment and let's figure out like why that we tried killing yours. Like maybe that can like help us like establish some context here.
Let's go back through the steps. Let's play back the events.
Oh yeah,
As
yeah.
he's dying.
We were high as fuck then.
Oh yeah. We we messed up, didn't we?
Shit.
We just, he said walk in a V formation, unzip your jacket, and walk very menacingly.
They were so into that, like they forgot exactly what they were doing.
But it's so it's interesting that that's some possible foreshadowing there. It's a lot of people say that's comicbook.com, but I actually have had people say that they think that I could see Father Gabriel going off the rails a little bit, like when faced with what he considers to be a tyrant. But what was cool was in the comic it made sense because Dwight was Negan's right-hand man and he experienced that type of environment firsthand, seen what it does to people, knows how dictators think. So it made perfect sense for Dwight just to go off the rails and lose his schnitt, freak out. Whereas Gabriel's he's going off the rails a little bit and getting a little bit more violent,
a bit more unwound each and every episode.
But it wouldn't. I don't know that it would make as much sense because it's like that was coming from a place of experience on Dwight's part. Daryl, I could see losing it, being he was captured by Negan, but
damn it, Daryl.
I don't know, however, that I can see Rosita being the one to shoot him in the head. I could see it maybe being Aaron. I really wish they'd give Aaron more screen time too. I don't know how you feel about him.
I was displeased. I really liked him. Like in the little extension of season 10, but we haven't seen much of any of them this season. We
finally see him a little bit with Carol yesterday. Yeah. What's cool is he actually really looks like Rick in the comics. He looks like comic book Rick.
He was Rick the whole time.
It's like you thought I left for a better show.
No,
dog. But no, so I don't know, man. What do you? I mean, knowing now the comics, and I know you hadn't read the comics, but now
I need to.
I'm telling you, you can just start taking them volume by volume if you want. I'm not gonna let you take the whole collection at once, but I'll let you. It's like a library, you can grab one, take it out, come check it in, and check another one out. I think that's fair.
A Lloyd library card.
The Lloyd library card. But yeah, if you haven't already, I did a review on it last night. So go to our channel, look at Walking Dead podcast by episodes, and you can find it there. But being I didn't have you last night, which is completely I didn't give you. Did I give you a hard time about it?
No, you were understanding. I tried to give you some warning, and I was like around just before 8. I'm like, dude, man.
Yeah, no, I didn't give you a hard time about it. I just was like, at first I didn't quite get it. I'm like she's gonna be asleep at that point. But I get it. I didn't give you a hard time. But being you weren't there, let's just do like a little mini review wrap up here. What did you think of the episode?
I liked it. I've come to accept that Maggie is grenade proof.
Isn't she though?
Yeah.
And she's got that plot armor on thick right now. I mean, how lucky as that guy is. The Reaper's about to kill her. Her little bottle trick works, and then he stops and kind of gives her a second, and then she throws him through the shittiest rail construction ever done. He's like, oh, this rail will save me. Oh, no!
Shit!
Damn you! The building inspector must not have...
I liked that parkour boy tried to cut the rope when they roped Maggie and pulled her down, and then he gets knocked out. Let me help you. Dude, you ain't ever doing shit for us.
That dude really doesn't do anything. You show up with a mask and sickles and you're so cool, but you do nothing.
You are useless.
And then it's like, what did he get taken by a pterodactyl or something?
Yes.
He's like, oh, goes flying up in the sky. I'm like, where did this dude go?
He's amongst the pterodactyls now.
So I was saying last night, wouldn't it be
with Carol
cool?
too with the horses? So anytime she's like super polite, like you're gonna fucking die,
dude. I'm telling you, anytime I see Carol being sweet or nice or anything to anybody or anything,
you're dead or you're getting horse meat.
She could walk up to a tree and caress the tree, and I'd be like, "Yo, she's about to slit that tree's throat. There's gonna be sap everywhere." Like, Carol, why do you keep killing stuff? Which I do get it. I mean, it took me a second too because I didn't quite get what was happening. So I'm like, why did she just slit this? Well, I thought they needed to bring the horses back to do work. Why did she just slit? And then I realized, oh, she did it because they need food. And this is, her
Horse
way.
Horse meat is full of vitamins and nutrients.
And especially you had this scene with Glenn's son, showing like eating horse meat. So he was, he was a little more okay with it, whereas the rest of the kids were kind of like, ew. But yeah, I'm excited to see where it's going to go. I'm a little bummed, but then I got hope. So next week is a Daryl only episode, and those usually tend to be pretty boring. But from what I've been told by all of our listeners that have the AMC Plus and, get to be all fancy and watch the episode.
See, I debated on doing that today, too. I'm like, I don't want to get ahead of you if we're going to plan on doing these.
Because you do have AMC Premiere or whatever, right? So you can watch the episodes a week ahead of time, typically?
Yeah, if offered.
I'll tell you what we ought to do to save time. I should just come to your house and watch them, and then we should go ahead and record the review like a week ahead of time and just have it, and then on Sunday night I can just put it out there.
So we're not struggling to stay awake or struggling to do it, whatever our
I'll tell you what you should do, since you can watch it twice, and hell, I might even would say I'll come over and do this too, just so that when we do a live stream review after the episode, we've seen it twice now, and we might have caught things we didn't catch the first time. I mean,
the problem with that, though, is Justin works a lot of half days, and by half day, I mean, like, he literally works half a fucking day.
Yeah, I'd be coming to your house at like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. You ready to watch it?
Dude, I'm in bed.
No, I'm good.
I just chugged 3 White Claws and took a sleepy pill.
Yeah, Matt takes prescription Ambien for sleep, and it turns you into quite
You don't know what you do, but by God, you sleep well.
I bet. It knocks you the hell out. Do you take it every night?
No.
Not every night?
It is highly addictive, so if you're prescribed Ambien, take as needed. I suffer from insomnia pretty bad from time to time, so I'm like, it's the only thing that's ever worked for me.
Do you take that when you feel insomnia is coming?
Oh yeah, I know the nights I'm just not gonna, I can lay there, I'm not gonna sleep.
What do you have? So you have nights where you just realize like it's bedtime and I'm wide awake.
Like it ain't happening unless I have some sort of chemical inducing.
Well, good on you for realizing the addictiveness of them and spacing them out.
Yeah, it is some harsh stuff to get off of if you get hooked on them.
And if you take them and try to stay awake, basically you said it's like being drunk.
Yeah, well, kind of like it's the same mechanism, but you've seen drunk Matt versus Ambien Matt, totally different people.
I'm not gonna lie, I like them both, but I think drunk Matt's my favorite because Ambien Matt's the kind that would
fucking sense. Yeah,
it just makes no sense.
At least, like, you can see I'm going in a direction when I've had a few too many claws, like when the claws have sunk into my flesh.
Usually, if you need to, you just go throw up and you're good to go.
Yeah, puke and rally.
I've always been envious of people who can puke and rally, because I cannot. Like, if I puke, I'm going to bed.
It's
I'm
easy.
done. You puke, and then you come out, and you're like, all right, I'm ready to go.
Let me shove my finger down your gullet one night.
Like, what? But anyways, so...
Back on track.
What do you want to see out of this season? I mean, so we've got a foreshadowed... All right, so I'm going to go ahead and say that, yes, Gabriel probably is going to get that death. He's probably going to get that Dwight death, but I'm going to predict that it's going to be Aaron that's going to take him out. Granted, they start bringing Aaron back into the fold. How do you feel about that situation? Or who could you see? So, like, basically, it's like, in The Walking Dead, I'll tell you this. In the comics, they don't follow them 100%, but there are certain moments that they will not have, like the heads on the pikes and the Negan killing some... Like, even if they change it up, they still have those scenes. You know what I mean? So, like, this is going to happen. Someone that is friends with somebody is going to get shot by that friend when they lose their shit in front of the leadership at the Commonwealth. So the question is, do you think it could be Gabriel? And if not, who do you think it would be?
Well, I'm actually going to go completely off a tangent here.
I love it. Let's do it.
The M-Dub's prediction is that Maggie and Negan will get married in the final episode at the Commonwealth, and everyone will be there. It'll be the best summer ever.
Did JP pay you to?
He did. Yes, I was paid off for this.
If you're new to this podcast, my other podcasting partner JP, he just wasn't able to join me. He's been podcasting with me for a long time, but JP has been saying for a very long time that Maggie and Negan are going to shack up.
It'll be like The Office. It'll be like Friends. It'll just like they'll. Negan and Maggie will get married, and everyone will be there. Even Rick comes back, like how Michael Scott did at the end of The Office.
It's like my kids grew up and married each other.
And then NBC takes it over. They didn't continue as a sitcom over on their channel.
Lord, can
you imagine Walking Dead as a sitcom? Like every scene's a laugh track. No, but anyways.
Like when Shane and Rick are having their fight, and he's like, "We just tried to kill each other, man." It's like, Shane, or like, yeah, I was gonna say when Lori and Shane are in the woods in season 1, and it's just like she's like, "You scared me," and he's like, "You made me wait," and then they start kissing. And then,
this show got fucking weird.
then it's like you have laugh tracks in really weird places, like Herschel gets his head lobbed off, and it's like, and then like Glenn and Maggie find each other. Oh,
I will find you, Maggie.
Somebody do that if they haven't already. I'll check YouTube.
Please, yes.
Turn it into a sitcom. Throw some laugh tracks behind it. Some oohs, some ahs. It's got to be a thing. Let's see if
there's anything on YouTube now. Let's see.
There has got to be.
I'm sure there has to be. Walking Dead laugh tracks.
I've seen like if it was a 90s show like that, an intro done.
There is videos.
All right, we'll save YouTube. Those, and we got to watch. I want to see those, and maybe we'll put the links or something below.
Walking Dead, Negan's best lines with laugh track.
Was it you that showed me the Big Bang Theory without laugh track?
It's so very awkward.
It is.
Oh my god!
Like it's weird. It almost feels more like The Office without the laugh tracks. The awkward humor than it does.
But man, going back to the main point, getting back on track here. I don't feel like I know enough about Commonwealth since I haven't read the comics or have looked ahead for spoilers. So I don't know how to quite gauge how that plot's going to climax with the gang and this Commonwealth folks. So yeah, I don't have any solid predictions yet.
Well, who do you think though? All right, so just imagine this. You don't have to know much about the Commonwealth, but let's just imagine a situation where somebody sees a dictatorship and wants to somebody just wants to. They're like, no, to hell with this. We're going to kill them and take this over.
Dismantle it.
Which of our people that we know do you think you could see doing that?
Well, as of right now, they all seem to be pretty level-headed. But let's see. Trying to think of the most emotionally driven character that we got. I could see Maggie wanting to overthrow something like that.
See, I've thought about that too.
She seems the most at least as of lately, seems one most driven by emotions.
I could see that.
She comes back to her senses quick. She's like, oh man, I probably need to cool my tits here.
I've thought about that. Seriously, I've thought that, I could see Maggie being the one just to lose her snit. But
if it's life or death, then yeah, I could see people like Gabriel or Rosita or whomever getting involved with that. But yeah, if it's not life or death, they seem to be a little more level-headed. Then
you think it was funny last night when Maggie tells Negan, she's like, you can just throw away people's lives so easily. And it's like, I'm pretty sure there were 15 people with us when we started this mission, and now it's 3.
There's a trail of dead bodies behind us, girl.
So what are you talking about? Pot, meat, kettle.
That's zombies like a football field length back. We can't help him. Yes, we can. Just fuck up the door, let him in. No, it's too late.
Or yes.
Just let him shank his own heart.
There's no point of helping him. No, those zombies are I barely see them.
We at least about 10 minutes, till they.
Maggie, we're not asking to open the door and leave them open. I said that last night on the live stream. I was like, look, my thing is, if you're gonna do that because he screwed you over, just own it. You know what I mean? Be like, hell no, we're not helping him. He just tried to steal our shit and take off. Let him die.
Yeah.
At least you.
Yeah, you have come forth with your true intentions.
Don't play it off like there's no time. We can't save him.
Come on, those zombies are moving 2 miles a minute.
I don't know if you haven't been paying attention this whole apocalypse, but zombies walk really, really slowly. I'm pretty sure we could get him out, run and grab some supplies, and get back before they're a threat.
I wish we would have seen this series. Are zombies that could actually jog?
Well, and they kind of had towards the beginning they had something similar. Well,
like a pair of zombies in a tank and some split shorts, just like
a runner zombie.
Yeah. With some sweatbands.
And Eye of the Tiger playing.
Yeah. It's the eye of the zombie. It's so dead in the eyes.
But no, some people saying that, because we had, we saw Aaron. See, that's the thing. We saw that Aaron, going back to the Gabriel Aaron murder freak out thing. We know that Aaron was looking at Gabriel kind of weird after he killed that guy and they got out. I really think Gabriel might die, but I think instead of being Rosita to pull the trigger, I'm really thinking it's going to be Aaron. I just don't know. I don't really like it. I mean, they've definitely foreshadowed it, but I don't know. Father Gabriel just is not who I would have originally imagined be the one to freak out like that.
I just don't see it happening.
And you could very well be right. See, I love it when shows, and I don't feel like The Walking Dead does that often, but I love when shows try to throw you off on who's going to die. Like, they set it up to be like, this person's going to die.
Then they completely blindside you.
That's good writing, and it's like the kind of stuff that just leaves you speechless after an episode, whereas, like, The Walking Dead, they show it a mile away. If you want to lean over here, you can see Dwight getting shot in the head. It's very sad. It even has the blam.
No!
No! Not my Burnside.
Is he all right?
But did he make it? I've always said one of my favorite scenes in any comedy show ever. It's so stupid, but it's South Park where Butters pretends to commit suicide by jumping off the roof. They dress up the pig.
Yeah, the pig.
And it's like, Doctor goes, he didn't make it. But like when he fell, he gets splattered all over the place.
Yeah, clearly, yeah. Died on impact.
Damn it. He didn't make it. But no, so you don't see it being Gabriel. You said you could see.
I don't know. I mean, some of these characters have been pushed to points where I didn't think that, when you first meet them, like, they'd ever reach these types of points in their lives where they do some crazy shit.
I think long before Gabriel started his turn, I think JP and I had said that we could see that being like a Carol-Daryl thing, where Carol. But the thing is, Rick and Dwight, they were friends, but they weren't tight. It's not like Rick and Daryl or Daryl and Carol. But, we had said, what if it was Daryl and Carol? Because Carol's the one that's really shifty, and she's, definitely always down to kill somebody.
She really is.
Or something.
Yeah.
So what if it was Carol?
As long as she's living, she'll kill it.
But a lot of people commented and said there was no way Daryl would ever kill Carol in that situation. But they, kind of set up like a rift between Daryl and Carol.
Yeah.
I've said it before on the podcast, and it's no disrespect to the actress, but I'm kind of over Carol at this point.
I think Daryl will be the one to get emotionally driven and then try to overthrow the Commonwealth people.
Now, I had said that a while back because Daryl's the one that...
Unfortunately, Norman Reedus, they can't kill him off of Walking Dead, so he'll be spared for that reason.
They'll shoot him with the BB gun.
Yeah. Ow. That was like, really annoying.
We can kill her now. Ow. What was that? Ow. Stop.
Please stop.
Is that an airsoft? Ow, man. You almost got my eyes. Stop.
That's a real risk to my eyeballs.
Dude, it's a paintball. He reaches back. There's like red. Oh, my God. Don't worry, Dale. It's paint. Just calm down. All right, so what do you think? So being you hadn't read the comics, are there any characters? All right, so first off, let me just ask you this, being that you've watched the whole show, but you hadn't read the comics. So, like, who in the show at this point is your favorite character? If you had to pick one,
Negan.
Negan, yeah, I agree with you. Negan, believe it or not, secondly would probably be Aaron if he got more screen time. Like I really
liked him in the extended season 10. I really liked what he had going on there.
Yeah, I like Aaron. I think the actor is great. I think he's a good character.
We need more mace hand action.
You're right. We need more mace. But I like Aaron. But yeah, I would definitely say of the people left right now, Negan is definitely my favorite. But so back when we had everybody there, back when Rick was still in it, and Michonne and Jadis and the whole gang, was Rick your favorite?
Yeah, Rick's a good one.
It's hard not to. It really is. If Rick was my favorite, then Michonne. Like those were my top two.
And then the garbage people, all of them on the same tier.
Using the Kevin Malone methodology.
The lack of words. Like, you don't need words to impress me. That's
Talk less, save time.
Yeah, they really impressed me with how efficient they were.
Oh, yeah. It's like the world's full of dead people.
They were very good recyclers as well. I got to give them props for that. We don't get enough upcycling in this world.
And at the end, they ended up recycling themselves.
the ultimate upcycle.
That is dedication to a cause right there.
They died doing what they believed. Rick was good.
We should all be so lucky.
Yeah. But if they ever kill Gabriel, and he goes to hell, or there's no afterlife, man, this fucking sucks.
This is bullshit. I wore that collar for nothing. That thing was itchy.
That was my ticket in. Damn it.
It was so dense. But so, all right, let me ask you, as somebody who picked, Matt.
I miss Herschel. That's who I miss.
Dude, the world needs more Herschel.
We really do.
So Matt and his wife started The Walking Dead a little bit late. Y'all started it in 2019, 2020?
I think 2019 going into like 2020, like when pandemic was going on, we had a lot of free time.
Right, and y'all sat down and watched
like
it.
literally binged it every night, just episode after episode after episode.
Y'all really did. Like, y'all did better than most people because, like, I can binge watch something, but when
there
there's
were
like
some episodes that were kind of slow. I mean, like, there really was, like, besides drinking a case of White Claw every 2-3 days and watching Walking Dead, wasn't much more you could do other than that. Everything else was closed.
But I mean, like, y'all to not be absolutely sick of it. Like, I was joking with you and I give you a hard time when I was like, you're not a real Walking Dead fan. But I mean, at the same time, I don't blame you. Like, you had just watched like 10 seasons of that show, like back to back. You probably needed a little break.
And I don't think Ashley realized just how painstaking it was trying to get episodes, like trying to stream them through illegitimate methods. And you get this shitty quality. It was just too much work. Like, man, like, I just don't have the time and energy to
It's on Netflix.
It is now, but like the newest episodes
you're talking about so you're talking about to watch season 10. Yeah. Okay, I was gonna say, Matt, I'm gonna blow your mind right now.
What? That if I had a BB gun, oh man, right in the side of your head. Ow!
And the side of Ashley's, maybe.
Stop.
Ashley, by the way, is Matt's wife. In case you're wondering, who the hell is this Ashley person?
Who is she?
Is she a she?
Well, that's for me to know.
But no, y'all sat down and watched all of the show back to back to back. And so as somebody who who hasn't been, at it for a long, long time, someone who's more recently watched it, number one, what's your favorite season of the show? Like, if you have to go back to or you don't even got to say, just say era, like, maybe an enemy, what was your favorite?
I liked with the Herschel governor era, and I liked the when Negan was a real menace. Like, I liked those 2 points in the show.
Yeah,
didn't care much for Terminus. I mean, there was just how they ended it was felt kind of weak to me.
Yeah, I always said the prime Walking Dead was seasons 1 through 4.5. So like the season 4 mid-season finales where the governor comes back.
Yeah,
and that whole battle ensues, which I still think the mid-season finale of season 4 is one of the best episodes of the entire show. But that was prime Walking Dead. And I'm not saying we haven't had some great stuff after, but that's when like the show really could do no wrong for those first 4.5 seasons.
Bring back Rick and bring back Michael Scott.
Bring back Merle.
Merle, yes. I liked him.
So the governor era and the Negan era were your favorite too.
Yeah, and I just really liked Herschel's character. Something about Herschel was just very pleasing, very soothing.
It was very pure and genuine, which is funny actually, because what's wild is Herschel kind of took Dale's place. So the actor that plays Dale, if you weren't aware, and I'm sure hardcore fans listening are like already know this, but for those that don't know, and for Matt that don't know, so. Excuse me, Dale was in it. Dale in the comics was in it through the Terminus saga, which Terminus wasn't in the comics. They were actually called the Hunters, I think, in the comic. But it basically was the same situation. And Dale makes it all the way to that, which is quite a ways. So that means in the show, he'd have been in it through at least season 5. But when they fired Frank Darabont after season 1, so Frank Darabont was a showrunner for season 1. Him and the guy that played Dale, I used to know his name, but I don't know now. But they're really close friends. So when AMC fired him, Dale had told them, like, I'm ready to go. I don't want to be on the show anymore. So then they had to unexpectedly write his death scene. And then the day of filming, he's like, hey, if you want to not do this, I'm cool with staying on the show. They're like, no, man. You said you wanted to go. Now you got to own it. But so he had to go. So basically what happened, because you noticed, Herschel was an ornery old bastard when they first met him. I mean, like, he was not the lovable guy.
No, he wasn't. Yeah, he was kind of a dick.
Yeah, he was. He didn't become this lovable dude until like after Dale died. Up to that point, he was
what did it.
Yeah, pretty much. From that bar scene on, he was cool. But before that, and what it was pretty much Dale was supposed to be the moral compass of the group, and Herschel was just this crotchety old man. And in the comics, Herschel actually dies much, much earlier than he did. Well. Not much earlier, but Herschel died in a different way.
A few paces back.
But, so Herschel kind of stepped into that. Because in the comics, man, there's points where you hate Herschel. I mean, like, he's just a bastard. At one point, he, like, straight up is about to kill Rick. Like, he's not the sweet old man.
When did he uncrotch the crotchardiness? And
God rest his soul, because, the actor that played him passed away not too long ago.
Yeah.
Well, about a year or so back. Hated that, man. But, yeah, Herschel was awesome. He was just pure goodness. Merle was pure racism, but Merle's like, you know what? He is a racist piece of shit, but he's our racist piece of shit.
I think we could have taught him that hating people of different colors is not okay. He could have been taught that.
I would have loved to have seen him lived a little longer with a little more of a redemption arc before he died.
Now we have Aaron as our...
one-handed.
Yeah, one-handed with some sort of crushing or stabbing weapon.
Which Merle's was pretty intuitive, I say that, and then Aaron just one-upped him with like the...
I'm more for the crush than I am for the slash or the stab.
I feel like, I am too if I had one hand, and the reason I say that is I feel like the knife, because I'm sure you see this too, like, in the medical field more, not that y'all stab people, but one thing the show really doesn't understand is like when you stab stuff, a lot of time the pressure and the suction from stabbing in keeps the blade lodged, and so you stabbed one in the head and now it's dead weight and it's on the ground and you got a horde coming and you can't get the blade out and you're like, damn it, and you're dragging this walker. The mace ball would be
Blunt
great.
force trauma is a lot more effective too.
Just crush it.
Yeah.
Have you ever, side note and completely off track, and if you're, I apologize for getting off subject here, but have you ever seen that, I think it was College Humor or it might have been Dorkly Bits, but where it's like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles learn to kill? You ever seen that?
I think I have. I've seen the Ninja Turtles. I've seen quite a few of their stuff on Dorkly.
They're fighting, I think Shredder or somebody, and Raphael all of a sudden just stabs him and he dies, and he's like, Raphael, what'd you do? He's like, he came at me, so I stabbed him. And he's like, we can do that? And it's like teen, and it turns the song, but then it's like, the two with
murderous,
then the two with the blunt force objects like Michelangelo and Donatello. It's like, Mikey, Donnie, how's it working for you? And he's like, it's taking a little bit longer, but I gotta say, this totally works. It still gets the job done.
It's a lot more debilitating getting whacked upside the head, then beat to death, than it is just to do a quick stabbing motion.
A little stabby stab.
Yeah. I mean, you still gotta, die of hypovolemic shock before you're incapacitated.
Now, one thing I will say, going back to The Walking Dead, being that you watched it all back to back, so your favorite part of this was, one of your favorites was the Negan saga.
Yeah, the start of, like, the when you first see Negan and he kills Glenn, we had to stop that, like, stop on our tracks that night and then come back to it, because it really hit us hard. We were total left field seeing him get bashed in.
It was so gory, too. Like, it's hard to watch.
Yeah, the first time seeing that, we just simply were not ready for that. Had no idea it was coming, so it really hit us from out of left field. And
you were not okay.
Yeah, that's that. Like, okay, like night's over. Like, I'm going to bed, and I'm going to bed sad.
Sad and broken.
Seriously, I mean, I was laying in bed that night. Like, I was upset. I'm snapping Ashley's snapping you death threats, and I'm like telling Justin, like, man, like, I just don't know how to process this, man. I need some comfort. Like,
how was the Glenn fake out reveal for being the when you watched it? Did you expect that he was still alive, or did you actually think he died when he fell off the dumpster?
The way they portray it, I'm like, okay, like, he's dead, but like with shows like that, like, anybody seems like it's fair game eventually. Like, no one's safe. So I was more accepting of that than seeing him just get randomly beat. Well, kind of random. Someone was getting their ass beat when Daryl got out of line.
Either way, it was going to be gory, right? So either he died by getting his guts ripped out.
I was more accepting of that. I'm like, well, crap, like, no, there'll be no baby Glenifer now.
I feel like the Negan death would have been less painful, though. I mean, I know it was gross, but like after that initial whack or two, I mean, I'm sure you're not feeling anything after that.
Yeah, I'm surprised he was still conscious, having his skull caved in and his eye protruding out. So I'm like, man, that is one hell of a whack, and still being able to say anything.
Oh yeah, and then it's like then
when it's completely just red paste on the ground.
That was rough, and his body was still if you pay attention, like his hands were twitching, his head was mush, but his hands were twitching, and actually it's like he was still breathing, but like he doesn't have a mouth to breathe.
Did he make it? No.
What if Negan would have been like, call the doctor in? Sticks his hand in the mush.
Yeah.
I can't find a pulse.
He's breathing, but I don't got a pulse.
I mean, do you realize, though, how hard it would be? I mean, people bludgeon people to death all the time, and while their faces are severely disfigured and bashed in, I mean, to completely obliterate someone's head with a baseball bat, that would take a lot of really hard hitting. I mean, I'm sure the barbed wire help. I mean, that added weight and force and some cutting and piercing capabilities.
And crushing, yeah.
But I mean, you have to beat the hell out of somebody's head with a baseball bat to turn it into just a
bone's a lot
pile
harder
of mush.
than you think, too. Like,
what do they say? Bone is 4 times harder than concrete, or something to that effect.
I can't dispute that, but I know like enamel's the hardest substance we got in our bodies on your teeth.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've read that, and I want to make sure before I don't want to say anything that's wrong.
Assuming that soda and candy hasn't dissolved your teeth yet, enamel's pretty damn tough.
Let's see. According to livescience.com, bone is extraordinarily strong. Ounce for ounce, bone is stronger than steel, since a bar of steel is of a comparable size would weigh 4 to 5 times as much. A cubic inch of bone, in principle, wait a minute.
I could take some steel rebar and beat and grind up some bone to dust.
A cubic inch of bone, in principle, can bear a load of 19,000 pounds.
That's what they call my bone.
What is it? What does it mean when you get an inch in? Whoa, we're halfway there. Let's see. Why are bones 4 times stronger than concrete? Your bones are composed of 31% water. Your bones, pound for pound, are 4 times stronger than concrete. A muscle called the diaphragm controls the human breathing process. Bone is stronger
majority
than
of the
some
breathing
steel.
process.
What else is
the muscles between your ribs, the intercostal muscles. But the majority is diaphragm, like 70, 75%.
Talk sciencey to me.
But like you can breathe just using your chest, like. It's weird, but yeah, if you're a belly breather, then you're mainly using your diaphragm.
I think I am a belly breather. I think I use most of this to breathe in, which I've always, I've used my voice for a living for so long. I'm used to having to project and talk from down here to get that like radio projection, blah 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 blah. So
radio projection.
Ow, my fingy!
Can you open my beer, my fingies?
So as we wrap up this podcast, again, kind of a recap, there being that Rosita is having dreams of Abraham
I think Parkour
trying
Boy
to
is
tell her something, and he's getting shot in the head before he can tell her, which a lot of folks, including comicbook.com, saying that it's going to be old Gabe, and that Rosita is going to kill him. I could see it being Gabriel, just because The Walking Dead's writing has always been somewhat predictable, but with that said, I don't think Rosita's going to be the one to kill him. They would have to drive a big rift between, not even that she'd have to be mad at him.
I'm putting some money, like if JP can make bets on the Maggie and Negan wedding at the final episode and Rick comes back.
So then the question, who do you think it's going to be? You said Daryl's driven by emotion, but you don't think Daryl's going to get shot in the head.
Tell you what, I'll put $20 down that Daryl's going to be the one to... And
he's going to catch a bullet in the head.
I'm saying I bet he'll probably get whacked, like he'll be knocked unconscious, but he'll be the one to try to knock out the kingpin for Commonwealth.
And there's not much more I'm going to say about comic deaths, because if you want to read it, and that is to keep in mind, there's hundreds of characters in The Walking Dead, so there's still plenty of reason to read. But there's some big ones.
Parkour Boy is going to be the one to go nuts and try to just be useless. Dude, stop.
But they're going to do the thing.
Doing anything.
The Walking Dead is so bad about like killing characters you have you don't really know who they are. You've seen them a couple times, and then expecting you to be sad.
The gal that died, like the other archer that was with Maggie, like I don't even remember her fucking name is, and
Agatha.
Now she's dead. It's like, okay, well,
was that the archer chick?
I think I don't know.
No, I didn't think that was. I might be wrong. I'll look that up. But like Agatha, I mean, the archer chick was a lot taller. I thought like
Maggie
she was a pretty
seemed very
big lady.
upset, so she seemed at least somewhat invested in here.
Yeah, I'm gonna look that up real quick before we close out the cast.
I'm pretty sure that was her.
Because if that's the archer chick, then how in the world did I not realize that? The Walking Dead Agatha. Let's see who Agatha is. Images.
But yeah, $20. Daryl Dixon's going to try to overthrow.
No, that is not Arrow Lady. That is not Arrow Lady. Okay.
Which one died then?
Agatha.
Agatha?
But that's not the Arrow lady.
Oh.
That's just somebody that was with Maggie traveling, I think, with that new group of friends.
Well, they all seem like skilled archers in the series.
Oh, yeah. And then Duncan, or whatever his name is, dies, and it's all... I thought it was funny, though, like, he goes, make sure you get out of here safe. And she's like, I will. And then he closes his eyes, and as soon as she does, she grabs a knife. It'd be funny. He's like, hold on, woman.
I'm okay.
Like,
I just need to close my eyes for me. I'm tired. I just got fucking stabbed.
I'm just sitting here bleeding a little bit. Like,
it's gonna clot. Relax. I'm just tired. I've got my ass whooped.
And even if he was dying, like, oh, I'm not dead yet. Let me
see. Yeah, let me go peacefully. Like,
let me die of the sleepies, not shoving a blade in my brain.
That's it. Get the BB gun.
Well, Matt, thanks for taking time to podcast with me. I appreciate it. Hopefully, I will see you on next week's live stream.
Well, I'm hoping to.
Which, you know, the good thing about that is you can do that from home.
Yes, and I wanted to do that last night, but yeah, just with I had so much drama to catch up from the bachelorette party. And
I understand.
Then we had to watch the Bachelor in Paradise while talking about bachelors and shit.
Did you really watch that?
No.
Is she abusing you? Is she making you watch stuff that you don't want to see?
There are some good moments in the Bachelor series, but
I've never watched it. My girlfriend watches Married at First Sight, so
one.
What's interesting? Have you ever watched that show?
I've seen. It's all the same.
Do you know who Pastor Cal is?
Mm-mm.
The black bald guy with the glasses. He's one of the main like counselors in that show. Real suave dude. Probably.
If I saw his face, maybe, but like it's all the same shit to me. I just call it.
Well, I sold him an oil furnace.
Oh,
no kidding! I actually did. I actually sold him an oil furnace. Like it was pretty interesting. Yeah.
So you're technically famous then.
Yeah, I sold a famous dude something. So
by proxy, by transitive properties.
I mean, we are aware of each other's existence now. So I mean, I'll start signing autographs, but I'm gonna have to charge for them. You want
10 nickels.
10 doll hairs. But anyways, thank you so much for listening. If you haven't already, make sure you check out our Patreon where you can get an extra couple of podcasts every week. And we haven't set up a tier system yet, so take advantage of that because we're going to at some point. But at the moment, everybody from $1 patrons up to $20 patrons can listen to the same content. But we have 2 to 3 extra podcasts on there every week. And it just helps support the channel. It helps us to buy equipment because, believe it or not, this equipment is not cheap.
$10. That's going to be the you get to see our dicks tier.
I mean, I was going to set that at the $20 tier, but you know what? Since you've said it, I have to honor it now.
I take what I can get.
But check
I'm just
that
happy
out.
to be here.
I think you'll enjoy it because I also need to buy another processor for Matt's mic over there. So
I sound like shit compared to Justin's crispy voice.
No, but a processor will definitely help you. And once we get enough patrons, we'll get one for that mic. In fact, we'll get you a whole other better mic.
Maybe I can try to impersonate Justin and see how that goes.
Sure, go right ahead, and I'll impersonate you.
Matt, you stop that, you silly feller.
Oh, you're right, Chucks. I am right silly. Give me a White Claw. But hey,
Jesus.
Thank you so much for listening. I'm Justin.
And I'm Matty Dubs.
And we're the Podcasting Dad. Have a great night.
Hey, Siri.